It's great to have you back with us. We are live from the Atlantic Coast Conference football meetings. It is always great to have Dabo in Duval. Dabo Swinney on in Jacksonville with Rick Ballou. Good to see you again, Coach.
Yeah, you too. Always good to be with you guys, man. Brings great memories back.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun here last year, and then I saw you. You came out to watch Trevor and Travis with Urban Meyer in the very early process of practice. But before we get there, I can't believe 16 years now at Clemson. 14 and a half as a head coach?
This is my 14th as the head coach full-time, and it's my 20th at Clemson.
Okay,
overall.
You went to Bama, then
13 years at Bama, and then year 20.
Unbelievable.
My 20th season at Clemson.
Man, just absolutely
crazy.
Out of this world. Yeah. Obviously, want to talk to you about your team, but our listeners in Jacksonville as well, very interested. And from afar, it felt like Trevor Lawrence handled a incredibly disappointing season about as well as he could have. What did you get from him during your conversations, both then and now, as he gets ready for the start of the 2022 year?
Yeah, it was a tough year. I mean, there's no question. I mean, it was a real challenge for him. A lot to have to deal with, throughout the year. Obviously, they had, things externally and internally that they had to deal with, and they had some injuries and had some close games that maybe could have gone one way or another. But man, he grew a lot. He hadn't really ever lost.
No.
He lost more games last year than he's probably lost combined in his life.
Right.
So that was a different experience for him. But I think just fueled his fire even more, and really, I think he goes into this year. There's no greater teacher than experience.
Yep.
And he goes into this year with just a different perspective.
Yeah.
And obviously, Doug taking over, that's a great fit for him. I mean, Doug is an excellent guy, great quarterback guy as well. He's won a Super Bowl, and I think they've added some good pieces. Certainly getting Travis back. He lost Travis. He's probably the most explosive player that they would have had last year, and getting him back gives them opportunity this year. So, they're building a facility down there. There's a lot of things, positive, but I think most everybody's kind of in a, well, let's just see type of mode when it comes to the Jags. But, my man Tyler Shatley's still there.
Oh, yeah.
He's going strong. But, Trevor's in a good place. I mean, he really is. He feels really good about where they are. And all I can tell you is winners win. Winners win, and they figure it out. And, man, Trevor Lawrence is – he is so talented. He is so committed. He's so smart. He's going to find a way to win, and it's just a matter of time. I go back to, and I hate to compare him to Peyton Manning, but you look at Peyton Manning and how he went through the situation at Indy, and they weren't very good, and they just kept getting better, and that's what I think will happen with Trevor Lawrence, and I think they're just going to get better and better and better. What does better look like this year? Well, they were better last year, even though it was still bad, but I think they'll be better this year, and I think they'll continue to point the arrow in the right direction. But he's an excellent leader. He's an easy guy to follow, and I think if he can continue to stay healthy, the rest will take care of itself.
Dabo Sweeney, our guest, joining us live in Charlotte. I'm Rick Ballou. This is the home of the Jags, 1010 on the AM, 92.5 on the FM. I've spent the last 8 years as the Jaguars sideline reporter, and I was blown away watching him develop throughout the course of the year as far as leadership. In early August, he spent 15 minutes after practice one day working with Marvin Jones Jr. He didn't say a word. Yeah. He just listened to the veteran wide receiver. And then I watched it game by game gradually change where he'd get a little bit more involved, whether it was right, and unfortunately there was so much wrong, but taking responsibility and talking his teammates up. By the end of the year, it appeared to me that he was a clear-cut leader offensively on this team, and certainly we expect that next year. Yeah. What was that like when he got the reins at Clemson as a freshman? I mean, you had a great quarterback, and you replaced him as a freshman. So are you surprised that you've seen this happen now at the NFL level with him?
No, that's just who he is, and it comes natural to him. He's not a guy that forces things. I mean, he'll learn, he'll listen, he'll watch, but man, nobody's going to work harder, first of all, and it's easy to follow a guy when he's the best player and he's the hardest worker and most committed. And he does what he says he's going to do. And he shows up early, stays late.
Right.
He doesn't expect any more from a teammate than he's willing to give. And, that's who you want. And that's who he is. And that's who he was. Fortunately, when we won it in 18, him as a freshman, we had an incredibly veteran group.
Yeah.
And when he took it over, man, those guys they grabbed him and said, let's go. I remember, Christian Wilkins took him to breakfast the next morning once we named him the starter, and our previous quarterback decided to move on, and there was a little bit of drama. Man, Christian Wilkins, who was a senior on that team, he took him to breakfast and said, hey, we got you. You're the guy. Let's go to work. Don't worry. You focus on what you're doing. We'll handle the rest. And so, by the end of the season, man, Trevor had really, developed into a confident leader, even though he was just a true freshman.
Right.
And you did, as you alluded to, you saw that last year with Jacksonville, but I think you'll see it even more this year. He will truly, I think, be a captain and one of the true leaders on that team.
He doesn't lose. He didn't lose at Cartersville. He didn't lose at Clemson. He's very competitive. Does he have the fire in the belly where he can get on teammates? Do you expect it? Oh, yeah. Because I didn't see that a year ago.
Oh, yeah.
Is that coming?
Oh, yeah. He's got that. Oh, yeah, for sure. He's not going to go undress anybody, I don't think, but he will make sure they understand, where he needs to be and why. Mm-hmm. And he will hold people accountable, whether it be something up front, but he holds himself accountable. He holds himself to that standard, and that allows him to do that. So he's always going to lead by, example first type of guy, but he has no problem in the right way articulating, whether it be in a team meeting, a segment meeting, or on the practice field, or even during the game, what he sees and what he thinks.
During our media accessibility throughout the spring and summer, the return of Travis Etienne looked like the old Travis Etienne. That's a brutal injury to come back from.
Yeah. He feels great, and man, I just hope and pray that he stays healthy, and he did at Clemson. Clemson, he was healthy.
Oh yeah,
I never got hurt. Played all 4 years, and it was just a warrior force, man. But it's all about touches with Etienne, man. You can't give that guy the ball enough in different ways, but if he touches the ball enough, he might have, it's like a great hitter. He might go 0 for 3, and then he hits a grand slam, and he went 1 for 4, and he had a heck of a day. So that guy is explosive, one of the most explosive people I've ever been around.
Right.
And it won't take long for people they haven't seen him. They don't know they have no idea who Travis Etienne is.
Yeah.
But I promise you, if he stays healthy, it won't take long because he is dynamite in a bottle.
Yeah.
And he's got a lit fuse to him at all times.
You mentioned Christian Wilkins. I remember that unbelievable defense, and your defensive line this year is scary.
Yeah, we got a great group. We've got our group. We have the star power of that 18 group: Christian Wilkins, Dexter, Austin Bryant, and Cleve. But that year we were lucky because they stayed healthy. We were very young behind them. This group is a lot more like our 14 team, which we had the #1 defense in the country because we got 4 seniors at DN that could start for anybody, and they're all starters. We've got 3 D tackles that could start for anybody, and we have good depth behind them. So I think the depth of that group to go along with the experience really gives us a great chance to be a dominant group. And every great team I've had ever, I've won 3 national championships in my life. 1 at Alabama, and we had an unbelievable defensive line. We had a great defense, but an unbelievable defensive line. We won in 16 and we won in 18. And the commonality of all those teams was what we had up front in that D-line.
Yep.
They really, truly set the tone. And I think this team certainly has the ability to lead the way for us.
Last question for you. One of the greatest compliments of being a coach is losing coaches to become head coaches. You lose Brent Venables, you lose Tony Elliott. I'm sure you're happy for them both, but now you're bringing in new guys, and you got to either keep the same system or teach somewhat of a new system. How has that process gone so far?
Oh, it's been great. Happy for Brant, happy for Tony. That's always awesome to see guys get opportunities like that. But it's fun to be able to give new people that deserve it the opportunity. And it's probably the most transition we've had since 2011. But it's just been a lot of energy and a lot of fun and a lot of excitement to see Wes Goodwin step into that role, Brandon Strader step into the offensive coordinator role, and then the support guys, a couple of new coaches, Nick East and Kyle Richardson, new people in the peripheral staff. It's been a lot of fun, and it's come together well, and now we're all ready to get started Labor Day night.
There you go. Dabo and Duval.
Yeah, man.
How about that? No NIL, no conference implosion or poaching. Just talking about two of the best that you've ever had. And, man, your defensive line this year, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch you guys play.
It is.
Always good to see you, Dabo.
All right.
Thank you.
Tell Trev and Shatley I said hello.
I will. No doubt about it. That is Dabo Sweeney. And there he goes. He is the head coach of the Clemson Tigers.